So in my previous video, I went ahead and poured a full gallon of WD-40 into the gas tank of this Honda Accord and just ripped it to see what would happen. And after getting just about 100,000 views, one of the biggest complaints were, what actually did happen? What was the purpose of this video and where was the science? Well, I'm glad to report that I had it all figured out. The first video was more entertainment. This video is for the science. Somewhat.
A lot of people noticed that the check engine light was on. They're like, oh, well, obviously the WD-40 must have damaged the sensors or did something. Well, actually, that check engine light's due to a idle air control valve that is no longer working the way it should. So that's what the check engine light is for, unfortunately. But fortunately, that means the WD-40 did not have any impact on that whatsoever, surprisingly. And with that said, everyone was curious to know how the O2 sensors are. Well, I do not feel like pulling them out because I have a feeling that's going to take a very long time. But what I can do is look up the data here on my scanner and we'll read exactly what they're doing. If they're within range, then great. If they're not, then that means the WD-40 could have caused a problem. And as you can see right here, oxygen sensor is working perfectly. It's reading in range, everything looks good. If I give it some gas, it responds. So it is working just fine. It means the WD-40 did not damage the oxygen sensor.
All right, well, that's all fine and good, but what about the fuel injectors themselves? Did WD-40 actually make a difference? Well, I put my fuel injectors into my trusty Chinese All-Tool CT150 here and ran them a couple different cycles. And this is my baseline test before the WD-40. Cylinder 1 came in at 46 milliliters, cylinder 2 came at 48 milliliters, cylinder 3 48 milliliters, and cylinder 4 46 milliliters. So of course I put the WD-40 in the gas tank, ran the absolute piss out of the car, and then I pulled the injectors out again to see if there was any difference, if the WD-40 made them flow any better by cleaning them, and this was my result. Cylinder 1, 46 milliliters. Cylinder 2, 48 milliliters. Cylinder 3, 48 milliliters. And you guessed it, cylinder 4 at 46 milliliters. There was no difference at all in how the injectors were flowing. They were doing identical to the test before the WD-40 was ever put in the fuel system. So WD-40 did not make any improvements in how these injectors flow. And if you were also wondering, yes, the spray patterns are unchanged, identical before and after. Okay, so what about other areas? Like, how are the intake valves? Are they cleaner? Maybe the pistons are cleaner? If you were wondering, I got your back because I did do before and after test to see if there was a difference. I have a cheapo scope here that I went and stuck down to look at the valves, and I also used to check each piston. So my apologies if the video quality is subpar, but this is what I have and I'll do my best to point out what I see. So starting with the intake valves, as you can see here, it doesn't look too bad, but there is a lot of buildup on here, 272,000 miles. It's a little crusty around some areas, like right here, you can see to the left that there's some carbon buildup there and around the seat of the valve. And yeah, so there definitely can be improvements. So will WD-40 be able to make those improvements? There's only one way to find out. So checking the intake valves after running the WD-40, I encountered a very strange problem. If you see something weird going on with the scope, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You can almost see a reflection of the light on the camera from the scope because there is such a thick, oily film that is coating the whole inside of the backside of the valves and the whole intake runner there. And it's making it really hard to tell what is going on. You can see there's still carbon buildup here on the side, so I don't think any of that has been unchanged. And as far as anywhere else in there, I can't really tell. Well, how about the pistons? Well, let's see how the pistons look before the WD-40. Now, looking at the piston before the WD-40, you can see a lot of buildup here, especially around the edges, but it's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse. So then, can the WD-40 redeem itself and clean these pistons up? Well, let's see. And now, after the WD-40, I don't know what to think. It looks a little cleaner towards the center, but honestly, you compare it to before and it looks like there's more carbon on the outer edge of the piston than there was before using the WD-40, which is probably to no one's surprise. And even though the engine somehow seems to be a little more quiet while it's running a little bit more smooth, I cannot recommend anyone actually using WD-40 in this application. WD-40 may be a multi-use product and it has many different uses, but this ain't one of them.